Hey, I just got back from J-Point conference where I had a speech on Saturday, just a few days ago. And I tried to convince the audience there that there has to be a conflict between developers and testers if we want to achieve quality. That testers have to be interested to break the product and programmers have to be interested to create the product. And in this conflict, we will achieve the quality. And I got so many questions from the room and from people in the discussion zone later that they didn't agree with that. They didn't like the idea of the conflict in the team. They were telling them, not everybody, but many of them were telling me that a good team works together, that their goals and objectives have to be aligned, that they have to be thinking all together about the quality, and testers are not supposed to break anything. They're supposed to be thinking about improving the quality. That's their objective, to make the quality better. And in order to make it better, they find bugs. Of course, they're trying to find bugs as much as they can, of course, but their main objective, that's what they were telling me, have to be to improve the quality, not to break the product, of course. And I disagree with that, as you understand, and I was trying to convince them that that's wrong, and that's why I'm recording this video again, to try it again. I think that conflict of objectives is the primary motivator for quality in any area we can think of. For example, code review. I'm the code producer, you're the code reviewer. Your objective is to reject my code. My objective is to put that code to production. If your objective would be to help me to get the code to production, then we're gonna miss so many quality problems because nobody will defend the code base. You as a code reviewer are supposed to defend the code base, to protect the code base against potential problems. And my objective is to put that problems into the code base and walk away. So our objectives are against each other. We're not friends in this pull request. The same for example, job interview. You're interviewing me, I'm trying to become a programmer in your team. Your objective is to reject me, is to find what are the flaws in me as a candidate. And what are the reasons why I shouldn't be in your team? And my job is to convince you that I'm a good candidate for you. And in this conflict, you're gonna find the best candidate. If you will be interested to get as many candidates as you can, if your objective will be to convince yourself and confirm that I'm a great candidate, how many great candidates are you gonna get? Nobody, because you will be accepting everybody. So our objectives have to be against each other, like I said. And it doesn't mean it's going to be a scandal. It doesn't mean it's going to be a negative feelings in that conflict. I'm talking about work conflict, the conflict of interests, the conflicts of objectives, not conflicts of us, people, personal conflicts. You may be the job interviewer today, and then tomorrow you will be the candidate. Or for example, you're the code reviewer and I'm the code producer, and tomorrow we just switch roles and I'm going to be the code reviewer and you're going to be the code producer, and then our objectives again going to be against each other, and I will be defending the code and you will be trying to convince me that the code is great. So there's nothing wrong in the conflict in the work environment as long as the conflict is based on some rules. There have to be some rules according to which we resolve our conflicts. Of course, if it's going to be just a definition that testers are against developers, no matter what, and they are just supposed to embarrass developers in any possible way, not just report bugs, but in general be against them, that would be a completely unstructured confrontation, which is not going to lead to quality, of course. In any conflicts, we must have rules, and I wrote a blog post about that about 3 years ago, telling that a conflict without rules, of course, leads to destruction and no positive results. But if you have rules, like in sport, for example, like in boxing, if two people are wrestling in the ring and we know the rules of that game, then it's an interesting game, it's a sport, and many athletes will be interested to join. But if you remove the rules and tell them that, like, kill each other, guys, and do whatever you want, it's going to be just a street fight, and it's not so many proper athletes will be interested to join that. So rules come first, and then people join in a conflict, and then they start fighting, they start wrestling, and they produce what they produce in sport. They produce healthy bodies. What do they produce in software development? They produce quality code. So programmers and testers are not against each other on personal level, but they must be against each other on the level of their professional objectives. That's what I wanted to say. I hope I managed to convince you. If not, then leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Bye bye.